Welcome to Muswell Hill, where we're removing more house than we're keeping. Let's take a look. So this was a big pair of semi-detached properties on the main road up to Muswell Hill. We've got planning approval here for 9 luxury apartments consisting of 2 3-beds, 5 1-beds and 2 2-beds. We've got various extensions happening to this property. We're stood in one right here where we're extending the ground floor all the way across the building. We've got various extensions at loft level and some remodeling of the rear externals. On the front, we've got some front bay extensions, getting rid of what was the really horrible kind of 1970s additions there, rebuilding them in brickwork, stone finishes, sash windows to match the rest of the period features in the property. Let's go and have a walk around. So as you can see, this property is undergoing vast amounts of structural work. This party wall is about the only wall that's being kept, and we are digging out the whole front of the property with a basement level. So that basement level creates a split level 3-bed duplex and a split level 1-bed on that front hand side as well. Where I'm stood right now will be the kitchen, dining, living space of these ground floor garden flats. These are 2 beds with a large terrace in front of me, and this will be extended all the way across with nice big roof lights above me. So I said before that we're doing a whole basement extension to the front of this building. That will involve what's called underpinning, which means basically creating big slabs of concrete underneath the existing walls to then dig out all of the earth and remove and create a volume of space that we can use. We'll have some L-shaped retaining walls, and then once all of the mass dig is removed, the retaining walls will be connected together by a ground slab, so a 300mm thick slab of concrete across the bottom of the basement. So we are already stood at a sort of sub ground floor level. You can see the door behind me, you know, the door entry was at my chest height, so we already started to get this dig down lower, forming the retaining walls, starting to form the rest of this basement, which will end up being around about 3 meters below where the ground floor was. One of the unique ways in which we've designed this block of flats is actually the duplex 3-bedroom here will continue to have the same address that it's currently got. It'll have its own entrance, so it'll effectively be a masonette split over the 2 levels, and then the remaining 8 flats will be accessed via this side passage into a communal entrance hallway. The stairwell has a lift as well, getting access to the 1st and 2nd floor penthouse. And where I'm standing here, this will be all dug out to form a light well courtyard. So for these lower ground and ground floor split level flats, we'll have access to private amenity to this light well at the front here. The remaining flats, other than the 2 1-beds at 1st floor level, will have private amenity in the form of garden terraces, loft terraces, 1st floor balconies, and then access to the communal gardens all the way to the back, which are vast. So this is a 1900s property. At the front, it's going to look very much like that. We've got timber, double glazed sash windows. All of the brickwork will be repointed and sandblasted to bring it back to its life that it was when it first started. But at the back, it's a completely different story, and hopefully we can show you the contrast in the CGIs between kind of the front and the rear. The rear is very modern, still using the same type of material palette with the yellow London stock brick. We've got some browny, purpley metal cladding, and then the glazing will also be that brown sort of purple type colour as well. So when you're building in London and developing property in London, space is extremely valuable. So most of the time you will find a lot of period features like chimney breasts removed to gain that extra square footage within the property. Really cool to see some of the historic chimney breasts being removed, but you can see it was clearly used a lot back in its day with the black soot and ash. But unfortunately, when we're developing in London, square footage is valuable, and most of our developers want to remove most of the chimney breasts. One of the great things about these period properties is the ceiling height. You know, Victorian, Georgian properties in London, often on the ground floor, in this case, is almost 3 meters in height. On this first floor, we're going to have about 2.6 by the time we're finished. And then even at loft level, we're still going to end up with about 2.6 meter ceiling height, which compared to most new builds nowadays at about 2.5, historically about 2.4, that's a really good extra 100, 200 mil. So I'm stood where the new kitchen will be going in this 1-bedroom flat. Right behind you, there'll be a big picture window leading out into a balcony stroke terrace, and then you've got a big window here with a Juliet style balcony coming into this kitchen space here. The flooring throughout the properties will be engineered wood, and we've got a really pastel-y cream type colour kitchen going in with white stone finishes on the worktops. We are going to be doing deep skirting boards. When you have tall ceiling heights like this, I really like to have much deeper skirting boards to kind of cater for that height. Welcome to the penthouse. So this is the piece de resistance of the property. It's a 3-bedroom across all of this floor plate. I'm stood in the big kitchen dining living space with terrace doors going out onto that balcony. We've got a utility cupboard built in behind the kitchen, which will look fantastic. Little breakfast bar, space for your dining table, and then your TV and living space is on that left-hand side. We've got 3 bedrooms. We've got the master bedroom on this side with an ensuite. We've got a 3rd bedroom at the front, which will be an office, and then a 2nd double bedroom here with ensuite on this left-hand side with family bathroom in the middle. So really good amount of space up here. I think it's close to 1,000 square feet. The lift will come up in this section here into the landing. We've got crittle doors as you enter the flat, opening up into this kitchen dining living space. Loads of light coming in from all directions. It's going to look fantastic. Can't wait to see it finished. So this is the penthouse level where we are out on the terrace deck. You can see an amazing view towards London behind me. Really nice view out into the communal gardens. This would be a really nice sun trap like it is now. To open up this penthouse, to give it the open plan living space that we wanted, this whole party wall has been removed. I mentioned down below that at ground and first floor, most of the party wall is remaining intact. Up here, it's the opposite. Everything's going to create this amazing penthouse, which should, by the time it's finished, go on the market over £1 million. The total gross development value of this whole site is around about £6 million. So there you have it. Lots of mud, lots of steelwork, lots of brickwork going on. Come back in 6 months' time where you'll see the finished article in its true glory. Subscribe to be notified of when that happens. And if you want to see more video tours by Aura Architecture, head over here.